Hello. Crypto's been going down recently, and stocks are doing fine. So many of you are probably wondering why that is. Well, there's a couple of reasons. I mean, obviously tech stocks are doing well, but it's more than just tech stocks. Like places like Walmart are doing well, Lowe's is doing pretty well, and a lot of department stores are actually doing pretty well, at least on the year. Um, but you're wondering, hey, if stocks aren't going down, and crypto and stocks are both risk on assets, why is one doing well while the other is doing poorly? Well, there's a couple of reasons. One, crypto is not doing that bad. If you look at Bitcoin from the beginning of the year until now, it's obviously still up. And every stock or crypto has ups and downs. And obviously, crypto is going to be more volatile because that's just the nature of how crypto is. So first of all, let's get that out of the way. Crypto is not doing all that badly. Of course, if you're in the altcoin market, you might disagree. We're still up from the lows of late 2022, early 2023 for most alts, but obviously it's doing less well than Bitcoin. And realistically, Bitcoin and Ethereum now have actually gotten a boost. Not really sure why BNB is doing so well, but Bitcoin and Ethereum have both gotten a boost by their respective ETFs. If they didn't have that, we'd probably be a lot lower than we have now. So the crypto market's actually not doing all that bad when you look at the same time frame as the stock market. As for recently, the Fed interest rate cuts seem to have affected crypto a lot more negatively than stocks. It's because crypto did hit an all-time high recently, and we're retracing and consolidating at this point. Plus, the ETF buys from January have kind of worn out, and the new wave hasn't quite come in yet. There are people selling some of the Bitcoin ETFs to buy the Ethereum ETFs that are going to launch soon. So there's definitely all those factors, and stocks don't really have those factors. I also think crypto overall is a little bit more risk on than stocks. They're much more volatile. But I think we have to actually look at manipulation as well. Remember, the stock market, even though it is kind of controlled by a lot of the big players, there's a lot more regulation and oversight over the stock market than the crypto market. And some of you are like, oh, that's going to change as crypto matures. I don't actually think so. And the reason why is because the crypto industry doesn't want it to change. See, people kind of are into crypto because there's a lot of red tape in the stock market, and they want to be able to have the freedom to do whatever they want. And that's kind of like broadcasting its way through crypto. That's why Gary Gensler is not doing so well against crypto, because the entire market is essentially against him. So I think crypto will always have some of the lack of some of the lack regulations that stocks has, and that's the way industry people want the crypto. But that also means that leaves a lot more open to manipulation, especially by the big players. And I do think ETFs are one of the reasons. Obviously, I've said before that customers are the main buyers of BlackRock and Fidelity funds, and they don't actually own most of their own Bitcoin. That much is true, but they do own some of it. And I've already explained in past videos how this works. They buy each other's funds with their assets, and they also buy their own funds with their assets. BlackRock has already invested a lot in their own funds. Of the Bitcoin ETF. So the Bitcoin ETF is actually in BlackRock's own funds. They also bought many of Fidelity's funds and so forth, and Fidelity does the same thing. So I'm not really sure how much of the portfolio they actually earn. It's probably only like 5 or 10%. However, that 5 or 10% is 5 or 10% of like hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin. So a movement by BlackRock or Fidelity of their 5 or 10% can still move the market. And plus, BlackRock and Fidelity, I'm sure they all do like futures and trading and all that stuff and high leverage. The thing about them is that they can sustain the high leverage because they obviously have collateral. Most people don't. One of the reasons that altcoins went down so hard is because over $300 million worth of alts got liquidated. Doge by itself got liquidated of $60 million of futures. And I bet people are leveraging pretty hard on that. The more volatile nature of crypto basically springs itself up for more liquidations and leverage. And since there are less regulations on it, there's going to be like more haphazard people playing around. So because alts are generally more volatile, a move down in 5% could easily signal a shift down in 15 or 20% if you actually look at all the buyers or the futures buyers and the leverage buyers in play, because there were a lot of futures that were wiped out of alts. There were more futures that are wiped out of alts in the last day, much more than Bitcoin and Ethereum combined. Ethereum, I think, individually had the most, but I think it was like Ethereum and Bitcoin combined were only like 110 million out of like over 400 million, like 440 million. So there were $330 million of like alt leverages that were wiped out. And, that is just going to affect the market a lot. I think most trading platforms and stocks have tighter limits on leverage and collateral than crypto. So crypto is just going to be a lot more haphazard and a lot more risky in that particular manner. When you see Bitcoin dump, you're going to see like alts dump a lot because of these leverage plays. And, the big guys like BlackRock and Fidelity, they know where these leverage points are. So if they actually take, like an opposite position, they're going to try to dump some of these alts past those positions so they can profit. And I think they do it very, very successfully. So there is definitely the manipulation. Now, you can't manipulate Bitcoin to go down to like 20, 15K or something, but you can maybe move it from like 70K to 65K, which would trigger a big altcoin run that you can gain 20, 30% from, and then you can use that money to reinvest into Bitcoin or other assets. And I do believe that's what some of the other big guys are doing, and even not just the institutions, but the whales as well. Because it's easy to take like an opposite position in an altcoin and then just sell the hell out of the altcoin or place bets against it to actually make it go down past that point and profit. And there's very little we can actually do about this because of the lack of regulation in the crypto space, and because overall the crypto space does not want such regulation in the space. Can't have this regulation in the space and be like, no, Gary Gensler, leave us alone. That really doesn't work. You either have one or the other, and I think like crypto generally chooses the other. So we're gonna have to deal with this overall for crypto for as long as crypto is around. I don't really mind that. As long as you can take the dips and rises, I think you'll do very, very well in crypto. But I do think that's one of the major reasons in crypto that you're seeing the stock market do well and the crypto not do so well. And some of you are like, it's only tech stocks. I've already explained it's not only tech stocks. And even if it is only tech stocks that are doing well, that should actually make crypto do really well, because crypto generally follows the tech sector way more than any other sector, because crypto is considered almost part of the tech sector. But like I said, the stricter regulations and the stricter oversight in stocks makes it a little bit harder to pull stuff like that off. Yes, you can do something like Roaring Kitty and GME, but that's for like basically one or two meme stocks, whereas crypto has a whole plethora of them. And, the shady stuff that goes on in crypto is much, much easier to get away with. So there's always going to be more manipulation in cryptocurrency. And I do believe that's what's happening right now. Also, there's kind of like the tiredness of the ETF buying, but I think that will actually revive soon. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.